Alright, guys, just want to remind you that if, let's just say the election will be tomorrow, who would you guys vote for? Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Ron DeSantis, Kamala Harris, Nikki Haley, or anybody else? Type in the comments below. And speaking of Nikki Haley, a news reporter, some guy asked Nikki Haley in an interview on camera, and a journalist or somebody asked a question, and the question was, "What started the Civil War?" And Nikki Haley was like, she brought up the government, and it wasn't a question about the government; it was a question about the Civil War. What started the Civil War? Simple question. She should have just said, "Well, the racist, well, Robert E. Lee started the Civil War. The South, they seceded." Because, guys, let me tell you about the story about the history of the Civil War. She knows nothing about it. Because if she did, she would have said a simple response would have been slavery. That's what started the Civil War, and Robert E. Lee, who was in charge of it. The thing is that the Civil War was between the North and the South, because the South wanted slaves. The North said no, and the South seceded. They wanted nothing to do with the North. So there was a battle. The South started it, but the North side, they finished it. See, guys, let's just be glad that we don't live in a country where the Confederates don't rule everything. Because imagine what would have happened to our country. The United States, they would have turned it into the Confederate States of America. And they would have raised hell. They would have had owned slaves throughout the country. Thank God that they lost. The South lost. The European side lost. And Europeans originally didn't start it because they did bring their side onto the country. It wasn't American citizens who were involved in that war. These guys were traitors to America because they wanted slaves, and everybody else said, no, that's not going to happen. Bam, there was a war, they lost. And you still have guys in the country today who carry Confederate flags. You guys might want to call that out if you see it. Like they say, if you see something, say something. And it's freedom of speech. You can say what you want to say, do what you want to do, but Confederacy, like, are y'all insane? Like, have y'all lost your minds? Why do you support owning slaves? If African Americans did that, everybody would be going crazy. Oh my gosh, why are these guys doing this? Black guys, why are you doing that? So if no one else who's not white can't do it, why would guys do that? See, yeah, I'm a white guy, but I'm an American citizen. I love my country. I'm proud of the United States. And I'm so glad that the North won that war. Because, in my opinion, there should be no war in the first place. Nobody should be starting no wars. And also, God comes first. And let me tell you, God made sure that the North won. God was on their side. The battle belongs to the Lord. The war belongs to the Lord. What that means is God will handle it. God will take care of it. Y'all might want to do some research on these guys before you support them, because it may not turn out as good as you think it is. Robert E. Lee was a traitor. He was not American. He was a European, and he was white. And you guys say, well, I'm white. I'm European. No, that's not true. If you're born and raised in the United States of America, even if you are white, or what race you are, you're an American citizen, born and raised in the United States of America. You're a U.S. citizen. If the opposite, you're not. Just because my ancestors came from Ireland and England and everywhere, no, it doesn't mean I'm not an American. That's like saying, well, this woman out there, she's black, she's African, but she was born in America. That's the why they call it African American, because African descent, but they are because they're black, but also because they're American citizens. Americans, no matter who you are, what language you speak, what you wear, what your background is, you're still a U.S. citizen. And not everybody agrees with that. We can all agree to disagree. But how many of you agree with this? Type in the comments. Nikki Haley should have just said slavery was start of the Civil War. It's easy. This is what you learn through high school and college history. Like, come on.